Hi everybody, just wanted to do a quick video about the usefulness of the test range in Battlefield 4. So first off, just want to really cover the rifle range, and obviously you can do some really nice runs through the rifle range, just kind of getting yourself more familiar with the sort of feel of the guns, using them at different distances, switching between sort of single and automatic fire. And always remember as well is when you get to the end here, these little targets that are moving, the ones at the front are moving at walking pace and the ones at the back are moving at running pace, so you can dial yourself in that way. And you can use this as an experiment to try out different guns, different sights, different attachments. I remember that over here we can reload and we can change our assault or engineer support recon should we so wish. One thing I particularly quite like doing actually on this range is running down the range obviously, but also when you go, if you want to practice your sniper rifle, I found sniping incredibly difficult to do. So what I like to do is just stand back here and just get used to doing headshots and reloading. And if you didn't know already, if you press down on the left stick, your rifleman will hold his breath, so it's a lot more accurate in terms of getting headshots. And from this position you can really start to get the feel of what it's like to be able to get headshots. Because what I found in the game with the sniper rifle is, unless you get somebody with the first shot, unless they really don't know what they're doing and they don't move after you've shot them the first time, they'll just run away and get behind cover. So this really helps you that. I'm not an expert by any means, in fact I'm no good to be honest, and I find it really difficult to get these moving targets at the back. So anyway, so that's enough of that. But another thing you can do on the rifle range as well, if you want, is let's go back to the assault class, and if you run up here, if you hit this switch, what happens? Ooh, let's press the right button. Oh, there they are. We got barrels we can shoot at. That's really cool, isn't it? Now, when you really get good at sniping, so anyway, that's a little bit of fun that way. So not only can you work on your rifleman skills in the test range, but what's really useful is you can work on your vehicle skills as well. Specifically, to start off with, destroying vehicles. So let me run back over here and get back into my engineer mode. So let's get my engineer on. So I've got my anti-tank rocket, my S-More, and again this is another opportunity to try out lots of different rockets. You can go for any different, the different way they feel. Because if you run over here, there's an enemy tank there, and you can just get the idea of what it's like firing these guns, but also the different amounts of time to kill it is for the different rockets, because they really can be very differently from different angles as well. Because the last thing you want to do is when you get into a game of Conquest or Rush, when you're up against sort of tanks and armoured vehicles, to be not quite sure how to use it. There we go. And you kind of get the idea of the dip, especially on things like the RPG. So that's kind of anti-vehicle practice. You can try it from different angles, different distances. Okay, so let's go into the engineer and let's change him up and give him a Stinger instead. So let's deploy. So what we can now do is have a practice.
We have taken objective Alpha.
Have we? Great. You can get used to what it's like to fire one of these beasts. Now when you're actually in combat though, it's a little bit more difficult to shoot things down because they'll be firing out flares and all that sort of things. So again, try with the different rockets. You can fire anti-tank weapons at aircraft and have a go at taking them down, especially the wire-guided ones. They're pretty good. So now let's have a look at actually using vehicles, and I'm just going to really go to the tank for the ground vehicle. So let's jump in a tank. And again, what we want to practice here is the dip that you get. So there's that enemy tank over there. We'll zoom in and just see if you can watch the shell as I fire it. See how much it dips. Now this is pretty easy because we're pretty close to that guy. But what we're going to do now is we're going to move onto the airstrip so we can get further away. And again, it's a good opportunity to get used to the mechanics of the vehicles. You know, press down on the left stick to get a bit of boost. If we drive all the way over here, what we should be able to see is we can still see that tank, but it's a lot further away, and you should be able to see the dip a lot more. See how much the shells dip as you fire them? Look, see, I'm firing really... My centre of aim is a long way. Oop, missed. There we go. So that gives you an idea of what it's like when you get into a tank fight. The fact that, you know, the shells aren't like your sniper rock bullets that basically go pretty straight with a bit of dip on. The tank shells dip incredibly. So that's enough of the tank. Let's jump in about... Oh, we can't jump. Can we jump in this one? No, it's an enemy one, isn't it? How about this one? Is this an enemy one? Yeah, okay. Let's get back in the tank. Let's drive down this end, and we're going to have a go in the helicopters. So we'll get into the Huey, the transport helicopter, and what I recommend you doing to start off with is press down on the right analog stick so you can see outside, and you just want to get used to flying the helicopters around. The right analog stick kind of controls the angle that the helicopter is at, and the the left one does your power. So up and down, and then spins the helicopter around. Now when you're flying the helicopters, it's really, really small movements. You just want to kind of dip the nose forward slightly, with a little bit more power, and I would suggest all you do to start off with is just practice following the coast around, like this. So really small movements on your stick, and all you're doing is following the beach around. Not flying very fast, just keeping the helicopter nice and steady, because remember, if you've got some gunners in there, they'll want to be able to have a steady gun platform so that they can hit their targets, and just follow that coast around just to get used to things. And then when you feel okay, just have a go at kind of hovering in position. Imagine you're sort of trying to take out a target. And then, when you've gone around the island a few times, just have a go at coming into land. Oop, gone a little bit far, let's come back a little bit. There we go, just bring her into land. And just practice flying around the island like that. Remember to go around counterclockwise and clockwise, and when you get a bit more confident, have a go at landing on that building over there. That's the transport helicopter, which you can't get to fire as a pilot, but then you've got the assault and the little bird. Often when you go into games, actually, people are just hogging these all the time, because with Battlefield 4, because it's been out for so long, you know, some of the pilots, you see what they do with these aircraft is absolutely amazing. And you'll see with the little bird that you do get to fire the weapons at. It's definitely a little bit more twitchy. And then, you know, just practice flying around the islands in small movements, and maybe switch to the inside view so you can then start firing at targets as well. Let's have a go. Let's see if we can fight these boats over here. Ooh. There we go. And there we go, landed on top of the building. So there it is, the test range. You can use the rifle range to improve your gun skills. Take full advantage of firing at the enemy vehicles with rockets, including the anti-aircraft ones. Let's get him again. Get used to the dip when you're using the main battle tanks. To get used to that, by all means have a go in some of the other vehicles and have a good go at flying the helicopters around, because although you might not be very good, you might feel a little bit bad when you're flying around in a helicopter bouncing off buildings in the main game. You will get better, and it is a lot of fun, and there's nothing quite like when you're flying along with a helicopter with some teammates in it and they're using the miniguns or they're firing rockets from the side. You do feel like you're part of Apocalypse now. So there we go, there's lots more to explore on the test range as well. You've got jets and all the other vehicles and the boats, but that's enough from me. If you enjoyed the video, press like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Put any questions or comments down below, and I'll see you